What up, Leaders? Welcome back to my channel. Here we are on the east bank of Demerara at Eccles. We're just entering the village of Eccles here on the east bank of Demerara. Today we're doing a walking tour of the communities along the east bank public road. Just wanted to show you how things are changing here on the east bank. This is Eccles. We've just left or leaving Agricola. That's the village of Agricola. This is the channel or canal that runs out to the Demerara River. So a lot of these communities are drained into the river, which also brings me back to the point, which is that by locating a lot of the industries, the new industries, new oil and gas industries, are located along the riverbank for convenience, but they also bring river pollution. So here is what is it? Namliko, another major industry located on the riverbank. It's Eccles, Ramsburg, Eccles and Ramsburg. We're entering Eccles and Ramsburg. This is the local gas station, and this is the East Bank public road through Eccles. Eccles, of course, for the past 20 years has been one of the leaders in new housing developments, new houses being built. So beyond the public road that is east of this location, there are the Eccles housing developments. Several of them were actually built by developers. That is, they built hundreds of houses and sold them. So it was one of the Eccles, that is, one of the villages or the communities that first brought the mass production of residential homes, that is actually building divisions, housing divisions, and one developer building dozens of homes, 50, 60, 70 homes, and selling them. So Eccles actually pioneered that part of the industry and along the east bank. Now, of course, that has spread to places around the country. Now people are talking about Windsor Estates. Windsor Estates actually was late to the game. Eccles, a lot of the housing developments in Eccles predate Windsor Estates, which I showed you in the previous video. But this is the community of Eccles along the public road, along the East Bank public road. This is what it used to look like, in fact still does, along the public road. But beyond the public road, there are a number of housing developments. There's the National Building Expo that I think is still going on in Providence. But here in Eccles, along the public road, at about 6:15 in the morning, 6:15 a.m., this is what it looks like. Now, this is a major improvement in terms of traffic congestion compared to what it was before they opened the Heroes Highway or the bypass road. So a lot of the traffic heading into the city now has the option of using the East Bank public road or the bypass road, and so a lot of the congestion, traffic congestion that was common has been abated or has reduced. So down through these streets will take you into the Eccles communities, the new communities that were developed. But this is the old Eccles. So you can see traffic heading into the city, coming off the east bank, passing through Eccles. And on the west side, these buildings all line the public road, the Eccles public road. It used to be residential. In fact, this one is for sale. They all used to be residential buildings, but now, of course, a lot of the businesses have taken over these residential buildings and converted them into dual-use buildings. Business on the ground floor, residences above. So that's what's happening here in Eccles. This is a major intersection that allows you to enter the village of Eccles. And so they have their only traffic light. Don't know if this is the only traffic light on the east bank, but this is one of very few traffic lights. They're typically police officers stationed at this location to regulate traffic, because traffic is usually very busy, very congested at this point, and actually requires traffic control. That's entering the village of Eccles. These streets entering the village of Eccles. But we're continuing along the east bank. So like I said, a lot of the residential buildings along this Eccles public road have been replaced by businesses. This one seems to be selling or renting heavy machinery, earth-moving machinery, and trucks. So truck and auto sales. And so what has happened over the years is that because of the very lax zoning laws, businesses have been allowed to move into residential neighborhoods. So anywhere you go in Guyana now, you're likely to find heavy machinery in residential neighborhoods, sometimes parked on the streets, because there are very few laws regulating the activities or zoning or enforced zoning laws to protect residential neighborhoods. But as the country develops, that becomes an issue, because a lot of these businesses, right, whether it be a transportation business or a car sales business, this says Massey gas products, they come with pollution, especially carcinogenic pollution, that is cancer-causing chemicals that drip from, these cars, these vehicles. They're always leaking some kind of lubricant, some oil leaks or coolant leaks or fluid leaks into the community, into the drains, onto the roadways, that eventually gets washed into the drains. Those chemicals end up polluting the drinking water and the water that is used to irrigate plants, and eventually those chemicals end up in human bodies And that is the reason for zoning, right? To make sure that, to ensure that cancer-causing pollution does not end up in human bodies. That message, that understanding has not yet reached Guyana. And for that reason, this development, this kind of massive industrialization could come with huge health repercussions for Guyanese, because a lot of the protection for human lives, protection from pollution, air pollution, water pollution, pollution of the land with cancer-causing chemicals is lagging. In other words, it's allowed, these businesses, these companies have been allowed to locate anywhere in the country, and the immediate effect will be a rise in cancer deaths. But of course, our politicians are not aware of this, because we're not really being run by governments, are not being run by intelligent people, just run by politicians, people who are in the business of power, laying hold of power so they can take control of the country's resources and the treasury so that they can enrich themselves. That's the reality, guys, but that is my commentary on the state of Guyana in the present dispensation. This is the East Bank Public Road, and I'm just giving you a walking tour, a hands-on or first-hand feel for how this part of the country is coping with the change in development. Like I said, this Houston Public Road, or this East Bank Public Road, used to be very congested. As we pass through Eccles and enter Bagotstown, it used to be very congested, but now, of course, that there is a detour. Now there's a Eccles, there's a bypass road. A lot of this traffic is now heading into the city via the bypass road. So that's looking towards Georgetown, that's looking north. Just over here there is a cemetery, and just beyond the cemetery is the river, the Demerara River, which you can see. You get a glimpse of the Demerara River from this location, from this point. In fact, this is probably the closest I've seen. This is Peter's Hall Jamaat Cemetery. This is a Muslim cemetery. As we leave Eccles and enter Bagotstown, this is Bagotstown. And just beyond here, that's the Demerara River. So guys, that's Eccles. And we've just entered Bagotstown, looking towards Peters Hall and the Demerara Harbour Bridge. Just wanted to give you a feel for what's happening here on the East Bank on a, what is it, Wednesday morning in Guyana, the fastest growing economy in the world. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in the fastest growing country, Guyana. Later!